week on Hillside Adventures, we figured we would take the opportunity to do a walkthrough of our 2024 Runaway Venturist camper. This is a relatively new to us. This is our first year with it. So we've had it for a couple trips now, taken it out a couple times, but this is a new model to us this year because previously we had I think it was a 2016 Runaway Navigator, which was an older model they had. It's kind of like the Cool Camp, the model that they have out now. It's more of their street model. This is more their off-road model, which is more suited for what we want. We also wanted to move to a wider camper. So this is a 6 foot by 8 foot camper. Our previous model was a 4 foot by 8 foot camper, which was great. We wanted to kind of test the waters and make sure that that was the direction we wanted to go to. Before that, we've done everything from ground tents to 24 foot or larger bumper pull campers. My parents have fifth wheels, and then we decided that was a little too big. We wanted to go the other direction. We went all the way back to just rooftop tents on the Jeep and the truck for several years. And now we've kind of settled into the middle of having a camper so that we can be ready to hook up and go. But at the same time, it's small enough and light enough that we can have the off-road ability package to go with it. So this is the model we settled for. It's number 223. If you look at the side, that's one of the things they do for the V series, the Venturist series. But these are much more durable, solid frame, independent suspension, larger tires. The newer ones, our old one was the previous generations were wood composite. This is our wood, and this is a composite model, so it's not got any wood in it to rot. So it's a lot, longer lasting material. As you can see, it came with this batwing awning. It's pretty easy to set up with one person. It's really a lot faster with two people. We usually use two people, but I wanted to show that one person out by themselves can easily set this up. We usually hang lights around it. It's pretty sturdy, and it makes a great shade. It covers all the way around the back of the camper. So yeah, we really have enjoyed this. Came standard. Ours, I didn't mention this earlier. We bought this used, slightly used. So I don't know if the people who we bought it had it before us, they even used it, but it was already kind of outfitted the way we wanted it. So it came with this awning. So yeah, it's got doors on both sides plus the rear, which is one of the things we liked. Our previous model only had the one door on this side, so it's a lot easier for us to get in and out. You can get in and out on both sides. Honestly, I sleep across the back. Jessica will cover the inside in a little bit, but I've actually just gone out the back, you know, if I need to get up at night for any reason or whatever. So get in and out, it's a lot easier that way. Solid metal fenders. Our previous model just they had metal fenders, but they weren't these sturdy ones. These flat ones make good. We use this for kitchen table, you know, a lot of things like that. Came, like I said, it's got the same size tires that we had on our previous Jeep. We haven't changed the tires on Jessica's new Gladiator yet, but eventually the plan is to match those to these. So we'll have the same tires, our spares will work across. So that's kind of the plan. I'm not super familiar with these rims. I really like them though. They're an Alpha brand, and it's actually got a separate valve stem, protected valve stem on it, so you can check the tire pressure of the tire while you're airing it down. So it's a little more of an off-road tire. I've not taken advantage of that yet, but it's kind of neat. I had to look it up because I wasn't sure why it had two valve stems. So there's that. Working our way around the camper. Well, I skipped the front, but there is a basket in the front. My plan on that is to eventually swap it to a storage box, probably with batteries and some solar solar on the roof and batteries housed in there with some control stations to give us a little more off-grid power capability. But that's kind of how it came. It's just the basket. We just, you know, use it for storage. I've strapped bikes there. We've, you know, loaded wood, whatever, depending on how we're set up in camping. So that's the front. Nothing really else on the front of the camper. Windows on both sides. We really like that functionality. It came with this power tank mount with a propane cylinder, which is perfect because, like I said, we'll set our kitchen up here. So this has got the propane for the kitchen, fire pit, whatever else you want to run off of it, housed right here. We usually carry our portable one also, but it's nice to have redundancy. Off-road jacks. That's one of the things that this model had that I liked a lot better than the previous one, is it has these fully adjustable stabilizer jacks. The other one just had the traditional like pop-up camper swing down spring feet, and these do a lot better job of stabilizing the camper. So it's kind of nice to have those. They just slide up and down. Like I said, a full door in the back, so this makes it really easy to get in and out or load things. You know, we can load chairs, you can load, I got a hammock under the bed, you know, all that kind of stuff. LED lights, and then the receiver hitch. So we've got a basket we put in there, but I think I'm also going to put a bike rack back here and eventually move from putting Ethan's bike on the front to putting his bike on the back. Continuing around, we've got roto packs mounted to the back, another stabilizer jack. The roto packs, this was one I wasn't really sure about. We've talked about putting roto packs on our vehicles and stuff like that before. Having them on here, we found these to be really handy. This is pretty much how we carry our water. I'm probably going to put some fuel ones on the Jeep when I put the rack on it, because I just found these so handy. Perfect form factor. You just kind of screw them in and out. So that's been a great addition to having the water right here. Another fender, kind of the same exact mirror of the other side with the fender, the door. And then I think the last thing on the outside to talk about is the fact that it does have the roof rack, which we didn't have on our other one. We talked about putting it on. I'll be honest, I was a little leery of screwing through the wood on the other one, but this one came with it from the factory. So we talked about throwing a tent up here, but honestly, probably this will get our solar set up, and we'll put a couple solar panels up there and build out some power. So that's the plan for there, and that's the outside of the camper. Another feature, just to kind of quickly jump back out and show you, is it came with this really heavy duty front jack. And that's been really helpful for moving it around the yard. I mean, it's a really light camper, and we were able to push the other one around pretty easy, but the other one just kind of had the bike style single wheel, more of a boat style jack, I guess. This one has been really great to move it around. I can hook it up by myself, push it back and forth. It works great. So, I mean, I can hook the camper up by myself with the truck anyway, but it's nice to be able to move it around the yard and get it in and out of where we store it. And then while I've got it looking at the front, this does have, the other one just had a ball hitch, and this one actually has a fully articulated swivel hitch. It's greasable. It is fully adjustable, and it allows it to pivot and kind of move as it needs to off-road. So coupled with the independent suspension of the camper, it really makes a huge difference on being able to haul this thing on off-road terrain. Now, this is kind of a quick under look at the independent suspension. It is pretty nice to have. Like I said, the other one had a solid axle. This one has independent, so it makes it a lot smoother ride. It also has trailer brakes, believe it or not, which, Florida, we probably don't need that terribly. But when we plan on hauling this thing through the mountains and some other places, it'll be nice to have trailer brakes. So I plan on hooking those up in the new Gladiator. Getting ready to jump into the inside of the camper, I will point out this is where the shore power hooks up. So currently this is the outlet. You just plug an extension cord in here and it powers the inside of the camper. It's not super power intensive, as you'll see when Jessica gets inside, but that's kind of the setup of it from the factory. This will probably change a little bit when I put the batteries and everything in, and it will probably hook up to the front instead. But for now, this is how it comes.
So this is the inside of the camper. It's not extremely tall, but there is plenty of space. You can easily sit up on the bed and not really, I don't probably bump my head. But we have a full-size bed in here that actually comes on a frame. The previous owners had installed this. It's got a nice linoleum rollout that they added to protect the floor. 2 windows on each side, and the previous owners installed these curtains, which make it really nice. You just roll them up without getting your blankets. You just roll them up, and it helps block out some of the sun while you're trying to camp. But the windows are tinted, so that does help a lot. There's 2 shelves here. These can be modified. I've seen a lot of things on Pinterest and other Facebook groups that have the Runaway campers, and people have modified them with cabinets and shelves and all kinds of different storage units. We haven't gotten that far yet, but we might do some things. This is a little window unit air conditioner, and it works great. We even ran it off of our Jackery, and we figured out that a full Jackery, what is it, a 1000, can run this about 3 hours. So it can be done for short amount of time, but this AC does work, and it even is great for just circulating air when you don't really need the cold AC and you just want some fan blowing. It does work really great for that. I guess one last thing that we've got is you can see the back door from here, and like Jay had mentioned before, it's easy access. He just kind of goes out that door and he doesn't have to crawl over me to get out, and it just makes it a lot easier to get in and out. So, but that's the inside.
And then we also do tend to set up a cot where Jessica's sitting right now for Ethan. So that's kind of how he sleeps, is right across the front right there. So previous in our other model, we built a bunk across the back, but he was getting a little tall for the 4-foot wide model. So now instead of building a bunk, we just kind of set up a cot, and that makes it easy to take down, and it just stores underneath that bed frame. So it's really nice to be able to get in and out.
Lots of storage room. We keep our folding chairs and our camp stove and the hammock and a little pop-up canopy tent, kind of all under here. So we have everything contained, and it's just ready to go and hook up.